New beauty launches are everywhere right now. And if you're anything like me, you're tempted. But between the dreamy packaging, the influencer hype, and all of those "you need this" videos, it's hard to know what is actually worth your money. Some of these viral launches, they're all hype, or they're just plain boring. And in this video, I'm calling these brands out on their poor quality, cheap packaging, recycled ideas, and lack of innovation. If you're tired of falling for the hype and just want the honest truth before spending your hard-earned money, then you're in the right place. Let's talk about the launches that just didn't live up to the hype. Starting with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautifying Eye Trends palettes. These have been so hyped up on social media ever since they launched. I want to say that most of the shades sold out within the first couple of days. These are the sellout product for spring. It's almost like no one has seen a basic eyeshadow palette before. We've got some very standard, very dupeable shades, and these babies are selling out. If any other brand had done these other than maybe Patrick Ta, I really don't think these would have been getting as much hype as they have. There's a couple of things that I do not like about these. The first one are the color stories. Don't get me wrong, the color stories aren't ugly, they're not bad, but they're just boring. They're incredibly dupeable. For a limited edition product, why are these so basic? I feel like these should just be a permanent line of shadows. Like, why are they limited edition? I feel like I can dupe pretty much every single palette that she has in this range. Maybe the Emerald Effect one, which is the one that I ended up buying to test. Maybe that one is somewhat unique, but the rest of them are incredibly basic. If you're a makeup lover like me and you've purchased, maybe some of her holiday palettes in the past or some of her little quads, you can dupe pretty much each and every single shade across this range. The second thing that I don't like, even more so than the color stories, is the packaging. It looks so cheap. This is drugstore packaging. Like, come on, Charlotte Tilbury. This is what you give us for $60. I consider Charlotte Tilbury to be a luxury brand. Maybe not like Chanel, but she's a luxury brand. Her products are expensive. I expect better than this, Charlotte. She thinks that she is Dior. She thinks that she can charge $60 for the cheapest packaging, which, by the way, is more than the Dior Backstage palettes. And I know that packaging isn't that great either, okay? I'm not trying to defend Dior, but it's Dior, okay? They're going to be able to charge more because they're Dior. And Charlotte Tilbury, you are not Dior. But you know what? I can look past those things because I have paid money for boring color stories. I have paid money for cheap packaging, even from luxury brands like Dior and Chanel. What I really don't like about these palettes, what's truly underwhelming, is the formula. The mattes and the metallics, they're fine. They're actually somewhat in line with a lot of the palettes that she has released in the past, but a large percentage of each of these palettes is made up of chunky glitter shades. Not finely milled, no nuance.
Just chunky.
Chunky unky. I don't dislike glitter in general. I'm a beauty lover. I like to have fun with my makeup. I like a little bit of glitz and glam, but these are they're too much for me. They don't scream luxury formula to me. I always get lots of fallout with these. And whenever I do a wear test, which I'll show you a clip of a 2-hour wear test that I did, these shadows, they always crease. And then the glitter toppers, they just go everywhere. And I do expect a little bit of fallout with glitter, but these in particular, I feel like I don't even really notice where I placed the glitter. There's no contrast with the rest of the look. It's just a wash of glitter all over my eyelids, highlighting every little bit of texture that I have. A lot of these brands, especially the ones sold at Sephora, in an effort to compete with each other for market share, they almost start to look very similar. Like, is this Charlotte Tilbury or is this Dior? Or is it Patrick Ta? Or is it Natasha Denona? Like, they're all starting to look kind of the same. The assignment is very much to appeal to a more mainstream audience, and I think a more younger customer that responds more to trends. So what I'm seeing with a lot of these new releases is very much more neutral, approachable color stories, very commercial, very user-friendly, but then more kind of like gimmicky, trendy finishes and packaging that have a little bit more social media shock factor. And speaking of gimmicky, what in the Sailor Moon Powerpuff Girl Polly Pocket are these, Charlotte Tilbury? You have no idea how much I wish this was actually filled with like a little pop-out princess castle, or the little minuscule horse stable with the teeny little horse and the pop-out comb so you can comb its teeny tiny little mane. But it is not. It is makeup. These are the Pillow Talk Beauty Soulmates Airbrush Flawless Finish Brightening and Blush Powder Palettes. It's basically a blush with a setting powder. This is kind of what I'm talking about, guys, in terms of the gimmicky packaging. I'm not saying that we can't enjoy this, okay, because it's cute. And actually, the packaging isn't cheap. Like, it does feel nice, but let's be real. I think she's marketing to a much younger customer. These sold out immediately, like immediately when they dropped at Sephora. So clearly the Sephora customer is very much into this product. And as much as I can make fun of this packaging, that is actually not what misses the mark for me. It's actually the design of this product. First off, you have a matte blush, which by the way, is very, very matte. It's like a setting blush. So if you have oily skin or if you want something very long lasting, then you actually might be interested in this product. But then you also have like a setting powder. It says here on the Sephora website, this new shade of the best-selling Airbrush Flawless Finish formula color corrects, brightens, and blurs the appearance of skin. And it does seem from my comparisons that this formula is exactly the same as her OG setting powder, like the Airbrush Flawless setting powder. It's the exact same formula. It's a very matte formula, very setting formula. When you go over to that product page, it does not claim to brighten. It does not claim to color correct. So is it doing all of these things just because it's like a slightly different undertone? Color correcting and blurring are huge buzzwords at Sephora right now. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to unsee it anymore. So I feel like she's really playing into that trend by just like taking something that already exists, tweaking it just slightly, and then marketing it to us as though it's like something new that we need. I feel like it would have made way more sense to just launch a bunch of color correcting powders that are like good for all skin tones in a permanent line. There's already a ton of reviews at Sephora of people saying that they actually really like this shade and would like to see it in the main line. So when somebody finishes this up, how are they going to repurchase this? Or is this just a huge ploy to get people excited for an upcoming release? And lastly, why are there only 2 shades? Like, am I correct in saying that this is way too light for someone who has a deeper skin tone? Comment down below and you guys let me know what you think. When I look at the deep-skinned model using this shade, I'm like, would you use that shade though? I don't think I would use that shade on that model, but I'm not a makeup artist, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Since this is basically the same formula as the setting powder, which has several shades ranging from fair to deep, wouldn't you have a brightening powder that is also deeper? So far, the only reviews that I've seen of this product on the Sephora website are from customers who have fair to medium skin tones. I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is that the packaging, it's kind of juvenile looking. The setting powder, it's really nothing new. The blush, it's fine. It's a matte blush. Overall, I don't think that this deserves to be a sellout product. I find the mixture of products within the compact to be a little bit strange, and I don't think it's gonna work for a lot of different skin tones. So I think it's overhyped. Oh, and by the way, if you happen to be enjoying this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you are new here, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Sophia, and I upload new videos just like this every single week, all about everyday beauty and accessible luxury style. I love to talk about overhyped products on this channel. We like to keep it real. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button to join our fam. We seriously would love to have you. I also live stream every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So join us over there for more beauty favorites and roasts just like this. The YSL Love Shine Lip Oils. I am coming for you, YSL, okay? You really did me dirty this time, launching so many good makeup products over the past year. And then these next 2, they did not make the cut for me. I was so excited for these lip oils because I love the Love Shine lipsticks. I love the Candy Glaze lipsticks. Heck, I don't know if I've ever tried a lip product from YSL that truly wasn't at least good. And this time, it is not the packaging, it is not the shades, it is not even the intense burning sensation that you get from these, because by the way, these are plumping. So if you don't like that burn, you're not gonna like these. No, I can get past all that. It is the odor. These are smelly. These have a very distinct vegetal off note. It is like a fresh and fruity cocktail that is just ruined with too many jalapenos, like a spicy margarita, but like all you can taste are the jalapenos and it's just like burning your mouth. For the people that like this, I really want to know, are you that friend that has to put hot sauce on everything? Like, are you immune to it? Somebody on Sephora said that this smells like fruity vape juice. but she also gave it 5 stars, so there you go. And I am so sad because I really wanted to like these. I like the formula, the shades, the packaging, everything, but these are just too pungent for moi. Am I the only person who like doesn't think that these YSL blushes are that great? Am I the only one that thinks that they are completely overpriced for what they are? They're cute, don't get me wrong, like she cute, the packaging is amazing, but the formula, unfortunately, I just don't think she's all that. I know that these are very popular and I'm probably in the minority here, but I've tried most luxury blush formulas, certainly most of the ones at Sephora, and I just don't think these are that good. I certainly don't think that these are the best. I think the Gucci blushes are better than these. Heck, I think even like the Kosas ones are better than these. I think for the price point, these should be the most luxurious, silkiest blushes that have ever kissed my cheek. They need to be a 10 out of 10. Otherwise, there's other luxury options, particularly the matte formula. I find to be very dry, a little bit hard to work with, very patchy, not super blendable. I don't know. I think a lot of people think they're good just because they're cute, just because they're YSL. I know, hot take. And I've gotten comments on my review of these saying, oh, well, you're just applying them wrong, or like you're not using the right brush. Friends, I have so many brushes in my collection. I've tried all the brushes. I have synthetic, I have natural hair. I have like literally every single shape of blush brush. It's literally my job to put on blush. And my opinion is my opinion. I just don't think that these are that good. I think they're dry and I think they're patchy. Now let's talk about a little Rare Beauty. We have the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. This is a new release from the brand, and it is a release that I think makes a lot of sense because liquid products, particularly liquid bronzers, have been very trendy lately, and Rare Beauty is known for their liquid blushes, so this makes sense, right? What I'm complaining about are the shade choices and the finish of this product. Let's talk about the shade choices. This is supposed to be a contour product, but when you take a look at the shades, not all of them are cool tone. Like, it's kind of all over the board. Like, is this supposed to be a bronzer or is it supposed to be a contour? When you look at the marketing photos, they're placing it in the hollows of the cheek. So that tells me it's supposed to give kind of like a sculpted look to the face. I mean, I guess you could say some people like the bronzer look, but like some of the colors are quite warm. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. It does miss the mark there on the shade undertones. Even more so than the shades is the finish of this. It is so dewy to the point where it's like a little bit like greasy and shiny, and I don't mind a little bit of like dew and glow to the face, but this just kind of takes it to a whole other level. Now with the blushes, they have the dewy formula and they have the matte formula. It's really nice that you can choose. It kind of seems like they took the dewy formula and they just converted it into a liquid contour. I really think that they should have chosen the matte formula because with the blushes, they're so pigmented, like you're only using a little bit, like a very little bit. That bottle's gonna last you a lifetime. Many of us know how pigmented those are. And because you're only using a little bit, even if you have the dewy formula, like it's not too much dew, okay? But with a contour product where you're sort of swiping it on, or maybe you're putting it across your forehead, it's too much dew. And in addition to that, I don't really wanna be putting something super shiny in the hollows of my cheeks where I'm supposed to be creating a shadow. Like I don't wanna be shiny here and then matte here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a very bizarre look to me. I really wanted to like this product because I think it could have been a really good release, but like the colors and the finish are just all off for me. And yes, I am going to slightly roast the Rare Beauty Bouncy blushes. Now, this is not a bad product. I actually think this is a very good product, but I do kind of think that these are a bit overhyped and in some ways a little bit disappointing. Like many Rare Beauty products, I have seen these blushes all over social media, especially TikTok. And in a way, it's like brilliant marketing because if you're not familiar with these blushes, they have kind of like a slightly squishy, bouncy, spongy type of texture. So they have a lot of social media appeal. Remember what I said earlier in the video? Like they're a little bit gimmicky. It's the perfect thing if you only have like 20 seconds to make a TikTok to be like, ooh, it's squishy, it's bouncy,
like, look at this, it's so much different from like every other thing that we've ever seen before.
Or is it? Because a lot of us have seen these formulas before, primarily from Asian beauty brands, and then Selena is selling them at Sephora for like almost triple the price. From a business perspective, I think it's brilliant, but as a makeup lover, I'm kind of like, whoop-de-doo. Not to mention that I just found out that the Gucci highlighters are pretty much exactly like this, like the squishy formula. I didn't see anybody on TikTok squishing the Gucci ones last year. I really think that it is because it's rare beauty. So again, I don't think this is a bad release. I think it's a really nice product. I purchased one from Sephora. I really enjoy it. I think they look nice on the cheeks, but if you need a little bit of de-influencing, I'll just come right out and say, you don't need these. There's other affordable alternatives. You can find them on like Yes Style, Stylevana, Amazon. I can link a couple of them down below. It's nothing particularly groundbreaking, and Selena has just launched so many blushes over the past year or two. Like her past couple of launches have all been in the soft pinched line. So I don't know, is this gonna be like the next Charlotte Tilbury pillow talk? At least everything isn't like a nudie pink. Can we just take a second to talk about the massive disappointment that are Makeup by Mario and Patrick Ta this spring? In fact, does anybody else feel like so many of the spring releases this year are just like, blah? Like, I don't know, usually I'm excited about a couple of things, like, oh yes, absolutely need that. And this year, it kind of just feels like half of the brands that are on the, you know, like new makeup just dropped page on Sephora, they're only there because they launched a travel size of one of their classic products, or maybe like one new shade for spring and summer. Maybe I should take back what I said about the Sailor Moon talisman, because at least this is fun, okay? At least this is fun. Also, why not just go the extra mile and make this like the next lip smackers? I've always wanted to look like a Powerpuff Iron Man. Return to Tiffany. But anyway, stay on track, Sophia. Mario and Patrick Ta are two of the hottest brands at Sephora, and even if they're not like my favorite brands, I do usually look to them, and also Charlotte Tilbury, to set the stage for the season. What are going to be the hottest products that are launched, the most covetable new releases? What did Mario come up with for this spring season? A mascara. Yo, this has me worried. This is like recession core spring launch. Let's just launch the most boring, replenishable item we could possibly think of. Just that, that's our spring launch. Like, you might as well have launched a brow pencil or a setting spray. Also, did you notice that Makeup by Mario is still selling and promoting the Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette? That was the limited edition, like super limited, better get it now release from the last season. They still have stock and they're still selling it and they're still promoting it, and they're like, ooh, last chance, like get your palette. So guess no new release for this spring. We are stuck with a mascara. Now, similarly, Patrick Ta has come out with body products, expensive ones. For example, he has released a $58 body cream. Oh, sorry, body creme. If it's creme, you can charge $58 for it. As far as I know, Sol de Janeiro is the #1 brand at Sephora, and as a result, everybody else has to try to compete with them. And so I feel like that's what Patrick Ta is doing here with his $58 body cream, which, by the way, is more expensive than the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum cream, which is already so overpriced. I'm just like kind of overwhelmed with all the body products, the hair products, and the fragrance mist. Even the hair mist, like, why do I need a separate mist for my hair? I will just buy a really nice perfume. Like, maybe it's just me, but like the super fancy body cream, while it is something that I really like and I really enjoy, you know, receiving it as a gift, and sometimes I treat myself to it, it's just not a category that I really prioritize. So these are not really releases that get me super excited. I will stick to like my drugstore Eucerin body cream, and then I'll spend my money on like the Kilian Sunkissed Goddess perfume. I got like the little travel size. That's gonna last me a long time. I rather spritz on my super bougie, more complex version of the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum cream and enjoy that, as opposed to like buying a very expensive body cream that I'm gonna use up so quickly. Which brings me to the Glow Recipe Brightening Serum Blush, another addition to the never-ending supply of makeup and skincare hybrids. I don't know how this brand got this big, but whenever Glow Recipe Recipe launches something new, I feel like everybody on social media talks about it. This product promises to plump cheeks, brighten dark spots, and hydrate while providing a buildable natural flush of color that melts into skin. Do I need to tell Glow Recipe what dark spots look like? Do I need to send them a photo of my unmakeuped face? Because I don't think any of the models in these promotional photos have any issues with sagging skin or dark spots, but maybe it's just the airbrushing. They all look very young and I don't see any dark spots there. At the end of the day, this is a liquid blush, a serum blush, a beautiful serum blush. It's actually a pretty good product, but I don't think putting this on top of my skincare, sunscreen, foundation, powder, bronzer is going to get rid of my hyperpigmentation. I think maybe for like a younger customer who isn't wearing as much makeup as me, like maybe they don't have as much skincare in their routine. It has some nice ingredients, but like I'm pretty sure every product at Sephora has niacinamide at this point. Is there just like some SEO copywriter that's like injecting niacinamide, peptides, hyaluronic acid, blurring talc-free into like every single product? Like you must have these things if you want to have a product at Sephora, and you could probably just, you know, get like a $6 bottle of 10% niacinamide from The Ordinary if you really care about that ingredient. So while there's some good ingredients, I just feel like these are so overhyped. Comment down below, what do you think is super overhyped right now? I would love to know your thoughts. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe, or better yet, go watch another video. Up next, I have my top Holy Grail products at Sephora. I'll see you there.